Assalamu alaikum and welcome everyone to today's meaningful and heart-touching conversation. I'm your host Urooj Aslam, and today we are diving deep into a topic that affects all of us at some point in life: self-compassion and self-forgiveness. Forgiveness. We live in a world where we easily show kindness to others but often forget to show that same kindness to ourselves. Many people struggle with guilt, regret, and harsh self judgment. But today we will learn how we can heal, grow, and move forward with a healthier mindset. To help us explore this deeply personal topic, we are just joined by our thoughtful and insightful guest, Maya. Together, we will understand what self compassion truly is, why it's essential, and how to practice it in daily life. So, Maya, what exactly is self compassion and why is it so important today?
Okay, so self-compassion is basically treating yourself the way you'd treat a good friend who's going through a rough patch. So it's acknowledging your suffering, understanding that everyone messes up, and offering yourself kindness instead of criticism. And it's extra important now, honestly, because we're bombarded with these curated, perfect lives. It's easy to feel like you're falling short, which makes it way harder to be kind to yourself. It's almost like countercultural at this point, you know?
Okay.
You still with me? The connection seems a little spotty again.
Yes, there
But
is a issue
good,
in it.
we're back on track.
How is
What's next?
self compassion different from self pity or self indulgence?
Good question. They can definitely look similar on the surface, but there's a key difference. Self pity kind of dwells on how awful things are and isolates you in your suffering. It's like wallowing. Its self indulgence is about avoiding discomfort, doing things that feel good in the moment without considering the consequences. Self compassion is neither of those. It acknowledges the pain, but it also recognizes that suffering is a part of being human. And it motivates you to take action to care for yourself, not to escape or get stuck. It's balanced, you know? It's about being kind, but also responsible.
Why do so many people find it difficult to be kind to themselves?
Honestly, I think it's a learned behavior. From a young age, a lot of us are taught to strive for perfection, to beat ourselves up over mistakes. We get praise for achievement, not for effort or for just for existing. Plus, there's a lot of societal pressure to be tough and resilient. And kindness gets misconstrued as weakness. It's easier to criticize yourself than to face vulnerability, I guess. It feels like you're taking control, but it's usually just self sabotage.
Maya, what does it really mean to forgive yourself?
Forgiving yourself isn't about excusing what you did, it's about recognizing that you're human. You made a mistake and you've learned from it. It's letting go of the shame and self blame that keeps you stuck. It's acknowledging the past, but refusing to let it define your future. It's messy and it takes work, but it's the only way to actually move forward. It doesn't mean you pretend it didn't happen, just that you don't keep punishing yourself for it.
Okay. Why do people hold on to guilt for so long?
That's a tough one. I think a lot of it has to do with identity. Sometimes we define ourselves by our mistakes. It feels like if you let go of the guilt, you're letting go of a part of who you are. Also, guilt can feel like a punishment you deserve, like you're paying for something you did wrong. It's a weird cycle. Holding on to the pain doesn't actually make things better, but it feels right in a messed up way. And sometimes, honestly, people just don't know how to let it go. They haven't developed the tools or haven't had the support to process it.
Oh,
Still there?
okay.
You've gone quiet again.
Yes. What are the signs that someone needs to practice self forgiveness?
There are a few telltale signs. Constantly replaying past mistakes in your head is a big one. Ruminating, as they call it. Also, excessive self criticism, being way harder on yourself than you'd ever be on a friend, feeling stuck, unable to move forward, difficulty accepting compliments, and often a general sense of shame or worthlessness. And any of those things resonate, it's a good indication that some self-forgiveness work is needed. It's not about letting yourself off the hook, it's about freeing yourself from the past.
Okay, what simple steps can someone take to start practicing self compassion daily?
Okay, simple steps. Okay, simple steps. Try mindful self-talk. When you catch yourself being critical, challenge those thoughts. Would you say that to a friend? Probably not. Second, practice self-kindness. Do something nice for yourself, even if it's small. Take a warm bath, listen to music, read a book. Third, recognize common humanity. Remind yourself that everyone struggles, everyone makes mistakes. You're not alone. Fourth, try a self compassion break. When you're feeling overwhelmed, pause, put your hand on your heart, and say something kind to yourself. Like, may I be kind to myself. Small things consistently done can make a big difference.
Okay, how can mindfulness help someone become more self compassionate?
Mindfulness is huge for self compassion. It's all about being present with your experience without judgment. When you're mindful, you notice your thoughts and feelings as they are without getting swept away by them. This creates space between you and your self criticism. You can observe the negative thoughts, acknowledge them, and then let them go instead of getting caught up in them. It helps you see that your thoughts aren't facts, they're just thoughts. And that's key to offering yourself kindness and understanding. It's like building a muscle. The more you practice mindfulness, the easier it becomes to respond to yourself with compassion.
Okay, how can someone replace negative inner dialogue with a kinder one?
It's not about instantly silencing the negative voice. That's unrealistic. It's about gently redirecting it. When you notice a negative thought, don't fight it, just acknowledge it. Then consciously reframe it. Instead of, I'm such a failure, try, I made a mistake and that's okay. I can learn from this. It feels cheesy at first, but it works. You can also try talking to yourself like you would talk to a friend. What would you say to them if they were in the same situation? And honestly, repetition is key. The more you practice replacing negative thoughts with kinder ones, the more automatic it becomes. It's a habit, and habits take time.
Okay, how can self compassion improve relationships with others?
Hmm. That's a really good question. When you're kinder to yourself, you're more able to be kinder to others. Self compassion fosters empathy and understanding, which are essential for healthy relationships. It also sets better boundaries. You're less likely to tolerate mistreatment when you value yourself. And honestly, people are drawn to authenticity. When you show yourself compassion, you're more likely to show up in relationships as your true self, which creates deeper, more meaningful connections. It's like you can't really pour from an empty cup, you know? You need to fill yourself up with kindness first.
Okay, finally, Maya, what advice would you give to someone who feels they don't deserve forgiveness?
That's a really important question. And honestly, it's probably the hardest one. If someone truly believes they don't deserve forgiveness, I'd say that belief is often rooted in deep seated pain and shame. And it's worth exploring where that comes from. But even then, deserving forgiveness isn't the point. Forgiveness isn't about what you've done, it's about freeing yourself from the burden of the past. Everyone is worthy of kindness, even especially when they've made mistakes. You don't have to condone your actions, but you can choose to release the self punishment. It's a process, not an event, and it might require seeking support from a therapist or counselor. But it's absolutely possible to find peace, even after doing something you deeply regret. You are worth that peace.
Okay, thank you so much, Maya, for sharing such powerful and healing insights. Today's conversation reminds us that being human means making mistakes, but it also means we have the capacity to grow, to forgive, and to start again. Self compassion isn't a weakness, it's strength, healing, and inner peace. And forgiving yourself doesn't erase the past, it frees you to build a better future. To all our listeners, remember you deserve kindness, you deserve healing, and you deserve forgiveness. This is Urooj Aslam signing off. Take care, be gentle with yourself, and Allah Hafiz.
Oh, all right. Have a good one.